Peace was good, y'all. Good morning. It's your brother God Science up in here once again. Shout out, special salute to the few that do watch the videos and subscribe. I appreciate y'all true indeed. The sun is like coming up right now, so if it's shining in the video, I apologize. My way to do things. Anyway, wanted to talk about the No Limit Man versus Cash Money, which was dope. That's my era growing up. Master P, beats by the pound. I created so much hits. And I remember, because like I said, when my moms and pops broke up, my mom's moved down here, so, I'll be in Brooklyn going to school. And in the summertime, I'll come down here. So I always got to, find out what was, hitting in the South. And Master P came out with that Ice Cream Man song, but, that Bout It his song was like all over the place, which was dope. It had like a West Coast feel to the beat. Shout out to KLC, man. And, even up to when I first heard, Cash Money, from Juvenile. Me and my brother I remember that vividly. We were like just riding, and this song comes on, and he's like, "You wanna benefit, huh?" You gotta understand, if you heard that when it first came out, we were like, "What the hell?" I was like, "Nah." We started laughing first off when we first heard it, because it was so different. You know what I'm saying? So we just kept, we gotta hear this shit again. We play it back and we play it back. We play it back. Then, okay, now it's starting to sound, you know what I'm saying? Now it's starting to sound good, but it was so funny because it was so different. You won't play, huh? You won't read, huh? And I'm like, that's how I got on the Cash Money. And Mannie Fresh being the dope producer that he is, shout out to Mannie Fresh. He's just sort of rise of them. Actually, Big Timers was one of my favorite groups because, being a producer, I always focusing the beats. I always wanted to know, if something is dope, who created the beats? And Mannie Fresh was a dope producer. He wasn't the best MC, but he could hold his own. Like, The Mind of Mannie Fresh is a dope album to me. I think people sleep on that album. But, of course, the moment, that was a big moment, man, because these two groups, not saying they had beef, but it seemed like it was some type of tension between those two. And to see them come together, you know what I'm saying? Our generation, some of these youngins, they don't even know these songs. They probably was born at the time when some of these albums came out. It was bigger, than them. And I didn't think Birdman got that. And of course he gets on the mic and starts going at Turk. And it just started to kill the night. Like, these rappers gotta understand, man, and I know you gotta have an ego to a certain extent. You gotta think your rhymes is the dopest, but sometimes moments are bigger than you. You know what I'm saying? And that's what that moment was. These two groups coming together, just showing love after all these years. You know what I mean? Of creating hits. Master P, he put it down. You can't take nothing from this brother, man. Coming out of that area, I never been to New Orleans, but from people that I know that's been there, and coming out of these projects where there's nothing, and this man creating something from selling shit out the trunk, you gotta tap your hat to that. And to where he was coming, No Limit was killing it in the 90s. And then Cash Money came right along and started killing it. They are one of the reasons why the South, they put that shit on they, even though there were groups before that, but they took it to a whole different level. Just to see both of them up there was dope. But then when Birdman started getting on, you heard Mannie Fresh tell him, don't go off script, bro. Like, I don't know if he was like floating in the sky or whatever, but that's just killed it a little bit. You know, it just made it a little disappointing, man. Like, it's bigger than you, bro. Just like humble yourself. You know what I'm saying? And then you got the Mercedes thing. Shout out to Mercedes. You know, she was there in the. You know, I remember her album. You know, her not being able to go on stage, which I get. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, man, sometimes you gotta understand that moments are bigger than you. This is, and I think those two, it wasn't even like the two groups are beefing. It's beef within each group. Lil Wayne wasn't there, which is one of the most, I mean, he carried Cash Money after everybody left, you know? I don't know, man. You know, I'll keep waiting for this Hot Boys album, and I just don't think it's gonna be done, because if one person is missing, it's not gonna be a Hot Boys album, period. You know what I mean? Wu-Tang is different, you know, Old Dirty Past. If you don't have Raekwon there and they're about to do an album, or you don't got Inspector Deck there, it's not gonna be the same. Just like Killer Army, the stuff that they're doing, and PR Terrorist is not there. Killer Sin is not. It's not the same. I don't care how much. I don't care what. You know, I get it. You gotta keep, but it's not gonna be the same. And this is just my, you know, perspective on the whole thing. You know, I just think all that I started this and all that talking, you know, they should have just pulled the mic and be like, nigga, this is bigger than you. You know, and just take it from me. But overall, all that, you know what I mean? I think No Limit win. You know, they won. You know, they came out more organized. It seems like they were just showing, they just came to show love. They were more, you know, I don't know. It just seems like to me, they won. Even though, you know, music is subjective. Some people might, you know, gravitate more to Cash Money. Some people will gravitate more to Master P. And you know, I had to correct Birdman that, hey, Master P was doing that shit before. Well, you know, I don't know what he was doing in the streets at the time and stuff like that. So maybe they did come out at the same time. But, you know, if you telling me you didn't look at Master P just a little bit and get a little inspired because he's doing it, I don't know. Anyway, you know how Birdman is. But salute to Birdman. You can't take nothing away from him being a businessman. Of course, everybody's saying the same thing and leaving. But other than that, it was a dope moment in hip hop for the culture. That's what it was supposed to be. And these petty little stuff, it just takes away from the moment. Now we talking about that. Now we talking about, and you know Turk is gonna respond. And so now it turns into that instead of the moment. But that's just my take on it. What y'all think? You know, who you think won? Most people tell me, you know, from what I'm hearing, that No Limit. And other than that, I think Turk should have been there. Why he wasn't there, I have no idea. I mean, I know he said he didn't want to be there and stuff like that, but they should have made it a priority because, like I said, it's bigger than them. It's for the fans, for people that supported y'all, that grew up on y'all music. But it is what it is. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, man. I'm out. I'll be back later with my review of Alchemist album. And I saw something also. Armand Hammer is coming back with Alchemist. Can't wait for that. Anyway, y'all stay safe, man, out there. Peace.